what's up guys? It's the Birding Abyss here. Finally back with another video. I know, I always say that. Honestly, I feel like I'm repeating myself. Like I always say, like I've been gone for a while and all that stuff. And honestly, like, I have two main reasons. One, the format was kind of stale, you know, like, Fiend Smith and Snake Eyes were like just crazy. Snake Eyes was just like the best deck by far, and it was just hard to play any decks of the decks that I wanted. Like, you know, I have the Goblin Biker, I have Dragon Link, I have BA. All those decks are just like very, very bad, honestly. And you know, we got a ban list like 2-3 weeks ago now, and we got some Snake Eyes hits, we got some, you know, changes in the ban list and all that stuff. But I mean, the format is still relatively similar, honestly. Just Snake Eyes is now not like tier almost 0. Now it's like just a solid tier 1 deck on par with like U-Bell and you know, decks like that. So I definitely think they did bring Snake Eyes down, and they did do some other small hits to other decks like Tempai, U-Bell. It did some consistency hits, but the best decks are still basically the same. Like there's no new deck right now that's like that came out of the ban list. It's like, oh, it's really good. So yeah, that's mostly the main two reasons why I haven't been. Yeah, that was one reason. The other ones, I honestly I've been kind of lazy, and I did have like some, you know, some things going on. I got a new job. I went on a trip with my wife and some friends, and 2 trips actually. So, you know, I've been having a lot going on too on the side. So I definitely didn't want to, I don't know, I just didn't feel motivated because of also the, you know, the format, the way it was and all that stuff. But I'm here. I finally decided to, first, RIP to BA, you know, Beatrice is gone. Honestly, I'm probably not going to touch BA again until there's like some kind of new support for the deck. I was hoping that this year, being the 10th anniversary of the deck, I think it was like last month, they would release something, like some news about Burning Abyss getting some type of support, but no luck. So I think I'm finally gonna put that deck down for good. Maybe just like maybe like once a year I'll do like, just try to see if I can make the deck work somehow. But you know, hitting Beatrice, it's like, I know the deck wasn't good anyways, but now it's just even worse. So, RIP Beatrice and BA deck. So now I've decided to, I think the deck that I want to focus on for this format, again, I'm not really playing like competitive or anything right now, so just doing like some very casual decks. I wanted to give you guys, I haven't done this deck on the channel at all, but I had the core since like last year, and I thought about doing an updated review. Not this past ban list, but the one before that when Colossus came to 1. But I don't know, I was missing a few cards for a while, like, you know, considering that the deck is not, I don't like the pure version of Thunder Dragon. That's basically the deck I want to profile to you guys right now. I'm not a big fan of like the pure Thunder Dragon deck, just because while it has better, like, of course it has better synergy between their own cards. I just feel like the board with like Colossus and maybe like having Titan on there, I don't know. To me, it just doesn't seem like it's that good. So I did see ThunderTheory's list like when Colossus came to 1, and I thought that was like, okay, this one actually looks, you can make more things, and you don't have to rely solely on the Thunder Dragon cards, which I don't think are that good besides Colossus. And even Colossus himself, like 1 Imperm, Droplet, like things like that, like, you know, Colossus doesn't do anything then. So I do think that just the Thunder cards alone are not that good, at least in today's format. So I was like, okay, I used ThunderTheory's deck profile that he did a few months ago as a kind of like a skeleton for my build. I did make a few changes, but some of the things are similar, of course, and I wanted to show you guys. So here we are. I wanted to give you guys my Thunder Dragon, I guess Bystial / Slight branded deck profile, and tell me what you guys think after the video. But yeah, let's get right into it. Alright guys, so let's get right into the deck profile. I guess one quick thing I also wanted to mention, you know, with the ban list and everything, D-Link, of course, Dragon Link got, you know, pretty nerfed, honestly, and no more Savage, no more Baron, no more, you know, like, I mean, Appaloosa wasn't really part of the deck, but Savage, man, like, I do think Baron was pretty broken, but I think Savage was fine. Like, I don't know why they had to ban Savage. I know why. Snake Eyes was abusing it, but still, Savage, man, why? But anyways, I know there was another change. They banned Appaloosa right now on this last ban list, so ThunderTheory was playing that card, but I'm not playing it in this deck, of course, because it's banned. But yeah, getting into the deck profile for the Thunder cards, of course, we got 3 Batteryman Solar. I mean, this card obviously is very good. You know, it sends a Thunder and then to the graveyard, and then you can just banish it with one of your other cards to get the effects and things like that. And it providing a token, it makes it so easy to go into Saryuja. So I definitely think this card is the better normal summon. I mean, Aloof Lupine is also decent because it sends one from hand for cost. But I feel like for Aloof Lupine, you have to play more Thunder cards. And like I said, the Thunder cards by themselves, I don't think they're that good. Like drawing multiples, I think kind of sucks. So I do think that Batteryman Solar not requiring you to have, you know, a Thunder in your hand like Aloof Lupine does, I think it's better. You can have other cards and still be able to play. So I think in this build, I think Batteryman Solar is the better card. I'm not playing Aloof Lupine at all. So that's those 3. And then for the other, like the actual Thunder Dragon monsters, we got the OG Thunder Dragon, of course. We got 3 Dark, Thunder Dragon Dark, 2 Roar, and 1 Hawk. So these are the ratios that I ended up going with. I mean, the OG Thunder Dragon, you know, I think it's a pretty decent card. Just gets you a lot of hand advantage, and being able to get lights in the graveyard, you know, just makes it easier for your Bystials and things like that. Dark at 3, just because I do think the quick effect of being able to discard, like if you're going second, just to get a Dark in the graveyard already for other cards, I think is pretty nice to be able to do. So I think, you know, like I think it's a card you want to see pretty often. 2 Roar, I mean, it's a good card, of course, being able to special from deck, but I do think that you don't ever want to clog up on this card. It doesn't do anything on your opponent's turn, so like no quick effect like Dark does. And yeah, I mean, the good thing is that it's a 6 versus Dark. It kind of sucks that it's a 5, but I value that other effect more than the Roar. And then the Hawk, I think you just need 1, honestly. Also, Thunder Dragon, of course, if you... These are 2 ways to be able to get Colossus out with the Thunder Dragon monster, so I think having more ways to get Colossus out is good. And yeah, Hawk I just think is only one of. I don't, like, you really want to try to minimize your chances of bricking with this deck, and like I said, the Thunder Dragon cards are not that good alone, so I don't ever want to see like too many Thunder Dragon cards in my hand. That's it for the Thunder stuff. Going into the Bystials, of course, we got 3 Lubellion, playing 3 Sarnier, 2 Druis, 1 Magnemite, and 1 Baldrake. I do think Bystials are pretty good in the format right now, so I'm opting to play like a Sarnier. Just Sarnier being able to get you to Lubellion as well in the graveyard, I think is really good. And like I said, because Bystials I think are pretty good, that's why I'm playing like multiples. If Bystials were not that good, then I would probably just play 1 of each to have 4, but I do think they're pretty decent right now. And then you really want to be able to see all the, like, you want to be able to see ideally all the engines in your hand to be able to get the most optimal board. So that's why I upped the count of these cards as well. And then going into the other cards, this is like the Chaos / Dragon package, which I think synergizes pretty decently with the deck. My other normal summon here is the 3 Starliege Seifert. I know ThunderTheory was playing 1, but the reason I opted to play for 3 is because I don't know, when I was trying out 1 for a while, but I really want to be able to see the white and the black. And of course, if you don't draw Chaos Space, then you have to hard open one of these. And Starliege Seifert just makes it easier for you to be able to, you know, get to these cards if necessary. If you draw both this and Batteryman Solar, if you're able to go on Saryuja, then it's fine. You can just get the Seifert out and then keep playing like with the Saryuja. You can get the Seifert out and then just search for one of these. So I think it's pretty good. And then of course Seifert in the graveyard lets you add a level 8 back to your hand. Recyclability is really good. So I've liked the 6 normal summons. I think the deck is a 42 card list right now. But this is it for the smaller monsters, and then now we're going into the bigger ones. We got the 1 Levianeer, 1 Armageddon, and the Diabolos. These are like the level 8 Chaos monsters that basically you can search with Melody, and you can search them with Seifert and all that stuff. And you can interchangeably with Seifert. Another reason why I really love this card is because you can use these to search for Lubellion, or Lubellion to search for these. So it's like, it's really good to bridge between them like that. I think ThunderTheory was playing 2 Levianeer, but I really don't. I mean, I was trying it for a little bit, but I really don't like to see. It happens sometimes already with 3 of these cards where you draw 2 of them, and that really sucks. Like, drawing 1 is okay, but drawing 2 of these just really sucks if Melody's still in the deck. Plus, like, these cards don't do anything by themselves, so I definitely didn't want to risk my chance of drawing too many of these, so I cut 1 Levianeer, and I think I like this ratio better. And then going for the, again, following ThunderTheory's deck list, I am playing 3 Cartesia. I think Cartesia is pretty good. I mean, it kind of sucks that it's also a normal summon, which you might think, like, okay, you know, having 9 normal summons, you know, it seems kind of bad. But honestly, like, at least in the testing that I've done, I don't really draw, like, more than, like, 2 most of the time. And having 2 in hand is okay, especially if you're able to go into Saryuja. Or if you can use one of them as discard fodder, basically. So, yeah. It's pretty easy to discard with this deck, like with the Melody and things like that. And with, like, Chaos Space. So, I definitely think that the Cartesia is pretty good, being able to go into Grand Guignol, and then, you know, being able to send a level 6 or higher. Like, that's a lot of the cards in this deck. Like, you can send a Bystial Rebellion, you can send any of the Bystials, you can send the Thunder Dragon Roar. So it's pretty good stuff, being able to basically, again, this card helps you bridge between your engines. So I definitely like the appeal of it, and it is a tuner, so it makes it easier to go into like Bystial Dissipator, or I mean, Chaos Angel doesn't need a tuner, but it helps, you know. And then now for the spell cards, like, you know, the support cards that help deck a lot. We got 3 Allure and 3 Melody. I think these are pretty self-explanatory. Allure is like a staple in Thunder Dragon. You know, banishing them gives you their effects. And of course, draw power. And then this card searching 2 of those out of those 3 level 8 Chaos monsters is just really good. Like, getting cards in the graveyard by discarding one is also pretty good, too. And the deck synergizes pretty well. So, I think these are just really good in this deck. And lastly, the one-ofs. We got 1 Gold Sark, 1 Chaos Space, and the Branded Regained. These cards are, again, pretty staples in this deck. The Chaos Space are just like Lebellion, any of the other Chaos Dragon monsters. Gold Sark, of course, for any of the Thunder Dragons, and then Regain is mandatory. The recyclability, the interrupt, like, you know, it's so good with this deck, and the draw power. So I do think that all of these are mandatory. The Beast, I was considering playing Beast, but I really wanted to minimize the bricks in the hand, because there's already, like, there's not too many bricks. Honestly, the only bricks right now is just Regained, which is not always a brick, but it can be. And then the other brick, I guess, would be, I mean, there's really no other brick except just, like, drawing multiples of cards that don't do anything together, you know? But any other, like, individual brick cards, there is none. Like, really, it's just the 1 Regain. That's the only card. But a few other cards, I mean, I guess I'll go into that at the end of the deck profile. But going into the extra deck, I got the 1 Pisty as the 1 Link 1, I guess. This card's pretty good, but, you know, with Saryuja, it makes it so easy to have the arrows to point to, and it makes it so you can get your the White Dragon or the Black Collapse Serpent off the board, and, you know, get another body on board, basically, if you have to. So I think I play this over the Striker Dragon. And then the Link 2s, we got 1 Seal, 1 IP, and 1 SP. I think these are, you know, pretty standard and mandatory in the deck, honestly. Seal is one of the cards you really want to try to end on or get to by 5th summon if you can, to play around Nibiru. And then, of course, these 2 cards are just staples in almost every deck nowadays. Honestly, if another of these generic Link goes, it's probably going to be IP next. But then the 1 Link 4 is the Saryuja, of course. It helps you dig into your deck and fix your hands, and also, basically, like I said, you want to try and see all your engines to be able to get the best board. So Saryuja just helps with that, like, you know, with the draw 4 and put back 3, you can rearrange your hand. and try to see other engines or, you know, interruptions like with the Bystials and all that stuff. And it's a dragon, so you can use this to go into seals. And the one Underworld Goddess, this is kind of a flex spot. I don't know if I prefer this or if I prefer the Dark Charmer. This is another option, but I'm not playing Dark right now. I'm trying this out just because it helps you get rid of tower monsters, since the deck doesn't really have any good ways to get rid of them. But if that doesn't come up for you very much, I think Dark is a good alternative. But for now, I'm playing the Underworld Goddess just as a way to get rid of tower monsters. Now for the XYZs, the 1/6, you got the Atum. Since we play a lot of 6s, like with the Roar, the all the Bystials, I think it can't come up where, like, you know, you have to go into this card. So I think it's good to play it just in case. It doesn't come up too often, but I think it can. And 2 rank 8s, Hope Harbinger and the Zombie Vampire. Honestly, like, while I do think the Zombie Vampire effect is really good, I hate the fact that it also mills your opponent's cards too. But I guess it can give you the knowledge of what they're playing, but, you know, it could be bad for you, you know? So, I don't know. It's like one of those double-edged sword cards. I think it's a really good card to extend, but a lot of times I feel like you overextend if you go into this card. Like, I think the only way I would go into this card is if I have to. Like, if I'm not going to end on anything and I have to go into this, then I will. But I feel like if I have some plays already, I would, and I can go into this, I wouldn't. But Hope Harbinger, of course, is pretty good. Spell, Trap, Negate. So, pretty good stuff. And then for the Synchros, we are playing 2 10s, the Chaos Angel and the Dissipator. Of course, Chaos Angel, I think, is like one of the more generic cards that a lot of decks play right now, because it's a really good card to banish, and if you use a Light and Dark, it's pretty annoying to get rid of. And Dissipator, I mean, it's a good interruption, it's a negate, and it can special from the banish, so pretty good card, honestly. And it obviously it synergizes well with Regained and the Bystials, so. But I feel like, honestly, the Synchros don't come up too much, like, at least not going first. But we're going to go into the fusions now. The 1 Grand Guigno and the 1 Despian, Priskinian. Grand Guigno, of course, with the Cartesia, you know, makes plays and be able to send. It can help you bridge your engines, like I said. And then the Priskinian is really just here, like ThunderTheory said, it's just, if you get Nibiru while this is on board, then you can bring this out just to have another body. And at least it's some type of interruption. So, yeah. It's basically, like, I don't play like the Fallen of Albaos to go into. I just think it takes up too many extra deck slots, and then I have to play like the Fallen of Albaos. I'd have to play the Branded Fusion, all that stuff, and, you know, I don't know, or not the Branded Fusion, but I'd have to play basically, you know, more extra deck slots like the Syrian Dragon and Albion and the Mirror Jade, which, I mean, they're good cards, but I feel like and if you're not playing like more branded cards, I don't think it's that good. And the last 2 cards, of course, this card came back to 2 Colossus. Of course, Colossus is just very, very good. It's a Floodgate, and it can be difficult to out sometimes, I guess, if you don't have like impermanent things like that. But yeah, I mean, now that it's at 2, you can use 1 as a body if you need to, and then if you have another Thunder that you're able to get out, you can just summon another one. It's not once, like the summoning is not once per turn, so that's really good. But yeah, that's basically it for the main and extra deck. A few other cards that I was considering playing. So these are the cards that I would consider playing. Oh yeah, I'm not playing any go in second cards because I know ThunderTheory was playing Droplet, but I feel like if you're only gonna play Droplet, if that's your only go in second card, I'd rather just play All Gas then. The only cards I thought about playing, I was testing with like 3 Droplet and like 2 Talents, but I feel like you have to up the deck count a lot, and then you see like the engine or like the combo pieces less, and I don't like that. So I feel like in this deck, it's just better to go All Gas at least for game 1, and then, you know, side some go in second cards for like game 2 and 3. But yeah, because I just feel like just playing Droplet alone is not enough. Like, it's not reliable to see a go on second card like that. And then adding in other cards like Talents, these are good cards. Like Talents and Droplet are very good cards, but I feel like you need more than just those cards. But these are other cards you can consider. I was playing Thunder Dragon Fusion for a bit with the Titan. I wasn't playing the Underworld Goddess, but I don't know. The Fusion is just another brick, honestly. Like, you only want to search it, and most of the time in this deck, if the Thunder Dragon count is not high enough, I feel like these cards are harder to utilize, or even because normally if you're playing a lot of Thunder cards, then it's a lot of times you can use the Dark to search for this, and then get both Colossus and Titan out. But in this build, since we are playing a little bit less of the Thunder cards, and we're not playing Matrix either, I feel like even if you're able to bring out Titan, like, you're most likely not going to have an interruption on your opponent's turn. You'll probably just only be able to use it on your turn. So I don't know. To me, it wasn't worth it. Like, if you're not playing Matrix, I feel like it's not really that good. And this is also another brick if you don't if you draw it, and especially if you don't have like other Thunders in your hand, this card's a brick. So I was like, nah, I'm not gonna play it. If I was playing more Thunder cards, then I would play it. And then, the other options for this, like I said, is a second seal, a Dark, or a Striker Dragon. These are like the other options for the flex spot for the Underworld Goddess if you don't feel like you need Underworld Goddess. I think either a second seal, a Dark. For me, I would probably choose the Dark if I'm not utilizing it that much. Yeah, because this deck, I think it's pretty, I'm not saying easy, but it can OTK relatively consistently, so I don't really feel like the second seals will come up too often. And the Striker Dragon, you definitely don't need 2-link ones, I think, in this deck. And since you're not playing Boot Sector, I feel like you don't get that much value off the Striker Dragon. The only thing that sucks about Pisty is that you're locked into dragons. But normally you can play around, and that's why I'm playing more like the safer, it's like the baby dragons, the other, and all the other level 8s are all dragons. So normally you're able to play around that restriction pretty well. But yeah, so that's just what I wanted to show you guys. The other extra potential options for the deck. And like I said, you could play the Fallon the Valbass if you want to increase your branded count in there. Like, you'd have to add the Mirror Jade, the Syrian Dragon, the Lebellion, and then the Albion. So, but yeah, guys, that's basically it for my deck profile for this Thunder Dragon, like, Bystial / branded, I guess, slightly branded deck profile. Not really branded, I guess. It's just more like Despia, I guess. Slight Despia cards, But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.